You are listening to Guillotines and Guitar, your southern infusion of everything rock and horror, served over lavish libations. Here are your hosts, Carol Gainey, Scott Barfield, and Chris Hicks. Enjoy.
This week's sponsors for the show are Shane's Tire and Towing, #1 in the tire business. With state-of-the-art equipment and alignment machine, Shane's Tire and Towing for all your new and used tire needs. Worth the call. Every time. Call Shane at 843-309-5920. Maryland Fried Chicken of Hartsville. The best shrimp and hush puppies in town. Great restaurant with great service. Fresh marinated chicken with an unbelievable menu. Do yourself a favor and stop by for some goodness. Northside Auto and Tire. If you need parts, paint, or tires, give Northside a call. 843-332-0131, great staff with years of experience. For all your automotive needs, Northside is the place to go for dependable service. Spiro's Wings and Ale. Great food. Live music and a great atmosphere. Food and drink specials with the best service around. Always the place to be with friends, family, or just bring yourself. You deserve it. Thanks to all our sponsors.
Holy crap. Like Scott couldn't make it yesterday. We are back.
Can't even get through 1 minute without a shit joke.
That was good. We are back at the Guillotines and Guitar Studios here in Hartsville, South Carolina. It's not a Monday night, it's a Tuesday night because we couldn't do it last night because...
Hold on, Chris.
Because the crap delayed us.
Hold on.
What a bunch of shit.
I'm going to get you to say guillotines before it's over with. It's guillotines, not guillotines. Or guillotines or whatever you say, like saltines.
Guillotines.
It's guillotines.
Guillotines.
Tell him to get out your space, Chris.
Guillotines.
Say the whole thing again.
It's guillotines and guitars.
It's
and guitars.
Try tell him what it is.
Guitars.
Try guitars.
Guitars.
There you go.
Yeah.
And
Cadillacs.
Now try guillotines.
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 Julio.
Yep. There you go.
Saltines.
Close enough.
Close enough.
All right. Hey. I can't stand y'all. We got a special guest tonight, Trey Davis. Mr. Trey Davis, it's great to have you on the show.
Do.
It's
Trey,
great to be here.
We are glad you were here.
I told you. You see him cutting you off already? You couldn't even get through an introduction. I told you. You can't get through a damn introduction.
I was saying my pleasantries to him.
You still can't talk. You still talk.
Okay. I didn't have anything to say. I was just going to say it was nice to be here with a bunch of musicians and Chris. I think it's awesome.
He's helped us get our podcast. He threw us a little AI ingenuity know-how our way, and we appreciate him. What we got here tonight, fellas? What we got?
Our topics tonight, our guillotines topic is: have you ever been to a haunted house or haunted place, and did you experience any paranormal activity? Our guitar topic is going to be, last week we did feuds with bands, so figured we'd one-up it and we'd bring the judicial system into it. So it's lawsuits, either from people bringing lawsuits against bands bringing lawsuits against people, band members bringing lawsuits against band members, whatever.
So speaking of that,
it can be as long as it's dealing with a band.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so you, Chris, and Trey all playing Consumed.
Yes, we do.
Is there any future plans of either one of y'all suing
We're
Chris?
suing Trey.
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
It's an ongoing investigation. We can't really discuss the legalities.
No, you'll hear about it soon, but I'm not allowed to talk about it right now.
I will say a bunch of guitars is up the grabs. That's I will say a bunch of Gibsons.
What? Now I'm feeling left out. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Talking about the lawsuit against Chris.
Because I own a bunch of guitars.
Well, I wouldn't doubt Chris would have a lawsuit against him.
What the hell?
He probably already does.
There are people looking.
What the hell ever, man? All right, so
Get too close to home. You got
subject change.
His face is turning red.
It's always red. I'm hot as hell in here. Broke ass air conditioner in here.
It ain't
Feel
broke.
like
It's
I'm
too
in a flea
loud.
market.
No, nobody told you to cut the neighbor's grass before you came up.
Chris, you want to do us the honor of
Well, actually,
See-
Trey bought these, and they're called buttery nipples. Is that right? Buttery nipples. Mm-hmm. The most feminine shot he can buy to bring us. But we appreciate it, though.
It was beside the register when I bought my crown.
And it was probably on sale.
And I was like, look at that. Actually, I took it. They didn't see me.
So we Chris and every show. Every show
This
with a
show
shot.
with a buttery
and this
nipple.
is really different. We ain't had
It
this.
is, I know.
And
It's
we
in-
thank you for...
It's
Now,
in the shot glass.
Does Scott know how to drink it?
Well,
though?
that's what I was going to ask. It's in the shot
Just
glass.
don't tell him what
we
it
need-
costs.
that has a divider. So, do I drink one side? Or?
It's got buttery on one side and nipple on the other.
You got to lick the nipple, though.
Okay, all right.
You got to literally lick it out the damn cone.
All right.
Cheers, boys.
Buttery nipple. Here it goes.
Yeah.
That
That's
wasn't bad.
interesting.
Tastes like a butterscotch.
Buttery. You didn't want to say nipple, did you? You didn't want to walk into that
Well,
door,
it
did you?
tastes like a butterscotch. That's what it tastes
That
like.
was pretty good.
Oh, Carol's happy about it. He didn't have to drink that damn Fireball.
Oh, I'm gonna drink it on the next
He's going
topic.
to sip
Oh,
it.
yeah, he's got.
Oh, go ahead and get that.
Yeah, that's right away. All right, so we usually flip our
Hold
coins.
on, Trey. This ain't just a drinking show now. We actually try and have some conversations.
Hey,
Trey's
wait.
ready to bust off another shot.
I'm just trying to make it interesting.
Wait to the second segment. We'd be well into the libations. we might talk about any damn thing. So we're gonna do heads. No, we're gonna do
No heads, no
no
tails.
heads. We have our coins here. Hey, show the camera our coins.
We've shown the
Show it
again.
again,
Do it
Scott.
again. Go over there.
Okay.
Show the
We have-
coins.
We have what side? Oh, the guitar side. So that's
Let's get close and personal.
guitars, and then we got the guillotines on the other side. And it's what, Scott? What's it made out of?
Black
black
nickel.
nickel.
Black nickel. And they're heavy as hell, man.
Yep,
You
they
knock
are.
somebody's
Hey,
ass out.
It's a
No.
nice coin.
And Chris, I know you normally spin the coin, flip the coin. Why don't we let Trey spin
Don't
or
let
flip
Trey-
the
Let
coin?
Mr.
Yeah, let's-
Trey Davis spin it.
Let's
I'll
let
do
Trey
that,
do
yeah.
it.
Go ahead, man.
And Trey, if you don't mind, spin it. Don't flip it
Just
because
spin it
it
right
is
on
heavy.
them.
It might break this table.
It might, but maybe not.
All right, let's see. Yeah,
All right,
ready.
we ready.
Oh yeah.
That damn thing's noisy. Are we
Yeah, it's a
really
guitar.
going? Are we gonna let it go all the way?
Look at
We
that.
are. We're gonna let it go all
let
the
it
way.
go. Let it hear.
Oh, he's
Till
fixing to pin it
stops.
down. Go ahead,
Look,
pin it,
it's
Trey.
still going.
Yep.
That's how
It'll
heavy
go on
it is.
forever. Yeah. Spin it.
It is guitars.
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 we start with.
Yay! I'm not prepared for this. Yeah. I'm gonna let all y'all go first. I ain't going first.
Well, Trey is our guest, so we should let
You
Trey
must
go
have been
first.
shoveling
tonight.
manure. You forgot to start the clock. Hey, he
Shit, he forgot to start the clock.
Hey, language, please. Let's stop with this.
he's got his damn blue lights on.
There we go.
It's a fucking family show. Come on. Damn.
You guys are ridiculous.
I know, man. I'm sweating from laughing
I'm into the
already.
language, though.
I have to put up with this all the time, Trey. I try and keep the language down, but Chris always says, I don't know.
Yeah, I was listening to this show in church the other day. Had a really hard time.
Boys need.
I mean, I should have put headphones on.
Yeah.
All right, so
Nah,
our
it's not
guitar
that bad.
topics are bands who had lawsuits against them, and what was the outcome?
Or bands who have had lawsuits against other people, or
Or other bands.
or
Yep,
band
just
members against band members.
Musicians in general. That
Yeah.
has been in the.
Are you still in the lawsuit with Grind?
No, it's consumed right now.
There was
It's
no
against-
lawsuit.
it's
Yeah,
against the
apparently,
drummer.
I am in one with Consume, though.
But we can't talk about it, though. I wish we could, because it's interesting.
We're going to talk about this later. All right, Scott, we're going to go with you first.
No, we're not going to go
I
with Scott
thought-
first. We're going with the guest first.
Oh,
Trey,
I got one.
Trey
No,
was
I
ready
got-
to go. So
I am ready to go. I've got one for you. It's probably going to hurt your feelings. It'll probably hurt a lot of people's feelings, actually. So everybody's a fan of Johnny Cash. Everybody loves Johnny Cash. Did you know that Johnny Cash got sued for Folsom Prison? Folsom Prison
He
Blues.
did.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, because he took some of the lyrics and some of the music from a guy named Gordon Jenkins. The song,
Did Johnny
the
Cash
song
write that
was-
song?
some of it. The song was called Crescent City Blues, which was written by Gordon Jenkins and sung by his wife Beverly.
How about that?
And they settled out of court for $75,000.
That's it.
75,000.
Well, this was back in
Yeah,
this
that was back before. I guess it was as
Yeah,
big as it is
60s.
now. So yeah, they're
Yeah.
probably sitting there going, could have got a lot more than that. We settled for pennies
big
on the
then.
dollar.
Well, I mean, damn. So he wasn't the original writer of that song.
Well, he got the inspiration and took some of the. I actually haven't
He
heard.
took some liberties with.
Yeah, I haven't
with
heard
it.
the original, the Gordon Jenkins version in a long time, but yeah, it's similar.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, well, I know a lot of country artists don't write their own songs, do they? I mean, a lot of them have
Well,
outside
yeah, the
writers.
artists don't a lot, but I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot that do. But
That's
they
why I
have
was
their
just curious. I
writers'
didn't know if he had, which now I know that he.
I thought you was gonna say Folsom Prison sued him. Like,
yeah,
is there Folsom Prison?
oh yeah,
Where is it at?
That's where
it's in Folsom.
Folsom.
Yeah. Hey, he performed there, didn't he?
He
Didn't
did, yeah. And
yeah.
I think there's a connection too with Merle Haggard and Folsom Prison. I think Merle Haggard went to Folsom Prison, not as an entertainer, but as a guest.
Yeah,
As a guest, he got to stay a little while.
Yeah, Merle Haggard was yeah, he went there for a few nights, I think, or
A few
a little
nights.
over. How long was it? A couple
I don't
months?
know. He
wasn't it?
turned 21 in prison.
Great story.
I'll be damned.
Probably wasn't the best years of his life, but
Yeah, well,
Well,
I'm sure it
Of
wasn't.
course it wasn't. He was in Folsom Prison. Along with
wonder if he was there when Johnny performed.
See, I had heard that he was, and then I'd heard that he wasn't. So I don't know. I wasn't there.
I got to dig more. You ain't got no more details.
Imagine if
No.
he was in prison when Johnny Cash performed.
Yeah,
that,
that would be pretty cool.
would that not be?
I know he did an awesome impression. Actually, Merle Haggard was a great impressionist. Sound just like Marty Robbins. You don't know who Marty Robbins is. Not the Marty that we all know here in Hartsville. There's another Marty
I
Robbins.
was like, he's famous.
Yeah, no, not a singer, race car driver, and all that. Who else did he do? The guy from Hee Haw. I can't think of his name now. Not
Roy.
no, not the other one.
That was the Outlaws or something, wasn't it? Off of Hee Haw or something.
No, the two hosts. The two hosts. You had the one guy. The guy played the American flag guitar.
Yeah.
Ben?
No.
His name was Roy, wasn't it? Roy?
No, you had Roy Clark. Or
Roy
whatever.
Clark
Roy
was the other
Clark,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
the-
then-
for some, I know the guy, but
Yeah, and
I grew up on Hee Haw, but I can't think of the guy's
have
name
you
now.
ever watched videos of Roy Clark playing the guitar?
Yes, watch.
I didn't realize.
Watch a video of
until
him
about,
playing-
About 2 years ago, I started watching. So I went down this rabbit hole watching.
when he died, and you were like, "Let me see who this guy is."
Yeah, and my God, I mean, I remember watching Hee Haw with my grandparents when I was young, and I remember seeing them what they're playing and all. But I watched them do some songs. I mean, I was,
Yeah.
Jesus
Watching
Christ,
an
this guy can
episode
play.
of him on the Andy Griffith Show, and he's just playing, and he's 100 miles an hour on a guitar, and it's recorded live. It's not overdubbed. It's him right there
Yeah,
doing
on
it.
the
It's
Andy Griffith
incredible.
Show.
Yes,
Pretty impressive.
it's amazing.
I got to watch that. I love Andy Griffith. I ain't seen that.
Yeah.
Was it after Barney left?
No, I think no. I think,
Did Barney leave?
Barney
the show?
left?
Yeah.
He moved. He went to Raleigh to be a detective.
yeah.
did something else, but that goofy dude took over for him. I didn't like him.
They had budget cuts.
Yeah. That was filmed beside Elm Street.
Elm Street.
Yeah, M Street.
We was talking about Alphabet Hill the other night, Trey.
Yeah. I don't.
L Street.
I don't know where that's at. Actually, I heard that whole story. M Street.
Elm.
M Street.
We're still on the M Street.
We are.
Like after N. M-N. No,
Yeah.
before N.
Yes, before M.
Element of P.
Yeah. Right.
That's a roundabout.
That was a pretty cool story there, Trey.
Yeah, I'm really curious
Yep.
about Danny. I got to look that up, Danny.
You can definitely learn things on this show, and Chris learns things on this show too. He just forgets them by the end of the night.
Chris learns a lot.
He does. So moving along, who's next? Do we want to?
Yep, you.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Me. So
Hold on. You know those two Muppets like yep.
Yep.
I love them two guys. Like,
Yep.
yep.
Big blankets.
Yeah.
They just got yep.
They're sitting there reading you know,
Nope.
I used to work corrections, and there was a meme of them, and
A what?
a what?
A mean?
yeah.
You say a mean? I thought you were talking about your grandma for a minute. A meme?
Meme, that's what the hell it is. M-E-M-E, meme.
Meme?
But there was a meme of them, and they was reading some correction policies, and it was so funny to me because correction officers don't read the damn policy. They go, yep. And I thought that was just so funny. What the hell? So funny?
I thought meme was the
Ask
funniest part of
anybody.
that story.
I'm gonna put it on Facebook. How do you say this word? Meme.
Meme.
Whatever. Go ahead, Carol.
All right. So moving along.
All right,
so,
I'm cutting in.
Yep. Nope. You can cut in a second. So as far as lawsuits, I kind of got an honorable mention, but so the first copyright lawsuit was Wheaton. It was Henry Wheaton versus Matthew Carey, and it was in 1834.
What?
1834.
What show am I on?
I know.
Well, no, I just wanted to mention this as an honorable mention because
Okay, so
That was
who are
the
these
first-
two people?
Happy
then?
birthday.
so Henry Wheaton was an author, and apparently the United States sold and transferred his copyright to Matthew Carey before the publication.
Okay, who are these two people? I mean,
They just people that lived and died a long time ago and went to court in 1834 for the first time ever for a copyright lawsuit.
Okay.
so
I see where you're going.
So that's why I wanted to do that as an honorable mention.
I thought you were going the direct because the writer of Happy Birthday
Yeah.
sued for
Yeah.
rights or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. But no, I just, when I was looking at it, when I was doing a little research, it popped up.
that's
as
the very first copyright
Yep,
infringement.
the first
lawsuit.
copyright infringement, and I think
And it was in 1830?
1834, and I think the law actually come out like 1790, but the very first
Jeez.
lawsuit was in 1834. So I just figured I would do an honorable mention on that.
That is. Actually, that's very...
18. What was it?
1834.
Damn.
The first
People was petty
copyright
back then. Back
infringement.
then too.
Yeah, they was getting with it.
I'm
So
gonna sue you, sir.
For all the pitchforks you own,
yep.
You
So-
ain't gonna have a clam in your name.
I'm taking your donkey.
So, yeah, I want your donkey and your chickens too. But so
I'm gonna get that bear.
So for my lawsuit and copyright, I wanted to do Queen and David Bowie versus Vanilla Ice because it was kind of a popular one.
Right.
And
No.
It
It
was-
went do.
yep.
It had extra ding in there. It's not
Right.
the same.
So
Pressure.
so Under Pressure came out in 1981, and then Ice Ice Baby came out in 1990. But Vanilla Ice claimed that his melody was different due to an added note between the two beats.
And
Oh,
Suge Knight told him to say that.
Yes.
Hold on.
But-
Suge Knight got involved.
That's his
Apparently-
company.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow.
But
Apparently, Suge Knight hung him over a balcony.
he did.
Yeah.
Vanilla.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla.
Van Winkle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Van Winkle.
Rob Van Winkle. That was his
Yep.
real name, wasn't it?
Yep. So apparently it didn't hold up in court, and he lost his lawsuit, and it was never really disclosed of what actually happened, but he said that it was cheaper for him to buy the copyrights outright than it was to pay the lawsuit. So there's never been no proof of it, but he says that he ended up buying the copyrights to Under Pressure from what I had looked up.
Yeah.
So,
That's something.
and I just remember seeing the story, and I felt like a lot of people has probably seen the story, so that's what I went with. And I actually, until I started researching it, I actually thought that he did not lose his lawsuit because of the extra note, but they said that it wasn't enough.
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember that too. I remember seeing him on TV where he was trying to explain himself. Talking about what their song goes, din 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 din. Mine goes, din 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 din. There's a difference there. I'm like,
And in the beginning part, there's another.
yeah,
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
yeah. I was like, okay.
So apparently, he had claimed that he bought out the rights, the copyrights to it, because it was cheaper, whether he really did or not, I didn't know. But it kind of made me wonder: is that kind of like the lawsuit that Consume's got going on against Chris? Or
We can't talk about it.
Can't
okay,
talk about it.
all right.
We moan on that.
I have
sir.
learned that since the beginning of this show. I can't talk about it.
Okay, so anyway,
You're like a mushroom, Scott. We keep you. We throw shit on top of you and keep you in the dark, for you can grow nice and pretty.
I was curious to see where that was going.
I was.
so that is what I am going with, and
Be late
that
again.
is all the information I have at this time.
Well,
So I
that was
guess
pretty good.
we'll be moving along.
All right, going to me. I am, of course, going to keep it in the 80s, like always.
Keep it in the 80s.
I am referring to the bottle incident in Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, I know where this
Springfield,
is going.
Massachusetts.
Sebastian Bach.
Yeah, Sebastian Bach. 1989.
Yeah.
Skid Row was opening up for Aerosmith. And during Skid Row's set, he's walking there, fixing to play Piece of Me, his song Piece of Me, and he's walking and talking, and there's fan footage of it, it's real grainy because it's from 89, but you can see the bottle just come up. It's a glass bottle. Back then, you could carry glass bottles in arenas, which seems crazy now. But you see this bottle come up. I mean, just whacks him in the head. And
Was that on the VHS that we used to watch at your house?
yes, it was.
I remember
on
that.
the VHS. Yeah,
Yep.
I remember me and Ryan when it first came on MTV News. We watched it. VH1 News. I mean, not MTV News would when they would have like their
Kurt Loder.
Yeah, with Kurt Loder, and when they would have like a breaking news coming out, they would replay it like every hour on the hour.
Sure.
And me and Ryan happened to be home, and we watched it and saw it, and we were like, "Oh shit, look at this!" Because you see the video and all, and so we went ahead and got one of our VHS tapes ready to record it when it come back on the next hour.
But I thought there was a thing that we watched at your house. It was like a documentary behind the scenes kind of thing.
Skid Row had
like in Japan or something.
Yeah, well, Skid Row had a DVD they put out.
Yeah.
Well, it was a VHS tape then.
Yeah.
Roadkill, I think was the name of it, and it had that whole incident on there.
Okay, that's where I saw it.
And
Was at your
everything.
house
Yeah,
on
that yeah.
documentary? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you explain to our young listeners what a VHS tape is?
It would take too long.
Yeah, it'll take too long. You just have to trust me. It came before DVDs, which most young people don't know what those are. But anyway, so he gets hit in the head with this a glass bottle. Somebody throws it out in the audience, hits him in the head, and I'd imagine that thing hurt like hell. But I mean, I think gashed his head. I think he had to have like 7-8 stitches or something. Yeah, but so he sits there trying to find out who did it out in the crowd. Of course, you got thousands of people. I don't know how he figured he could find out who did it. But so anyway, they started playing the song Piece of Me, and he sings it, and he's still talking to the crowd. He's looking at her. He's got somebody in mind. I don't know if they're making, gestures to him to where he thinks it's them or whatever, but he's kind of singling out somebody, and he's like, was it you? Was it, why he's trying to sing the song, and then he stops trying to talk to the guy or whatever, and he goes and picks up the bottle, a glass bottle now, and I mean, he slings that thing back into the crowd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then he jumps in the crowd, and you can see him kick somebody, but he ended up when he threw the glass back in, he broke a 17-year-old girl's nose.
Oh.
And then he kicked some guy in the face, and so he had to go to court for it, and he ended up settling, I think, for $500,000. Was out of court, because of, but that's what he had to pay, I guess, the girl and the guy, I don't know, but that's That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was crazy how, I mean, because you see him throw that thing in there, and you're like,
because I'd had PTSD.
you know, he don't know who's
seizures.
hitting with that thing. You know, I mean, you got a crowd full of people.
Whiplash.
You
My
remember
back,
he
my
was
check
like,
nerve.
"Was it you? Was it you, motherfucker?"
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Well, you know, we're you don't remember at Max, that dude come across stage and Trey, he ran after. You don't remember that? We was playing at Max.
Oh, yes, I do.
college
Because he
kid.
jumped. He
Yeah.
jumped across and ran.
Is that the three guys that
And
was in the white shirts?
When
I
Adidas
don't
and the
remember.
soccer suits,
I don't-
wasn't he?
Yeah, I was there
Yeah.
that night. Me and
Well,
Travis
Trey,
was
Trey,
I don't know. I went out.
calmly, he's like, no, you motherfucker. No, you know, he continues saying, get out. You know, and Trey just kept going at him.
I kept singing though. I was still singing the
he was
song.
still-
Yeah, no, I do remember that. But I was on the other side of
because
the
they
stage.
crawled
so I don't-
across right where you were at.
well, he
Well,
told him
they went-
once to
they
stay
went-
off. He told him once. He was
Yeah,
like, listen.
one guy came across and I said something.
Yeah.
Then the other two
you
said,
kind of helped him get
the
off
other two
the
were
stage.
drinking and they were like, "Hey, let's try that. That looks fun."
Yeah.
And they do it, but they go across my guitars and my whole guitar rack kind of shook, and that was the lights went
Trey's
out.
hair stood up, if you can imagine that.
I was there. I remember seeing that. I was on Trey's side watching.
Yeah,
I was
cutting
thinking.
through
I was
people.
actually thinking a lot. I was like, "Yep, we about to tear Max up."
You was thinking lawsuit, weren't you?
Yep,
You just didn't know it was going to be against you, did you?
I got one against me now. You
But
got
yeah,
any more
I do
details, Scott, or
remember
is
that
it, did,
I mean, I got more. You want more details?
I would
No,
love
no,
more
that-
details.
I mean, he,
Okay,
That
well,
wasn't good enough.
Well, he ended up settling out of court for $500,000, and at the time, he said that broke him. I mean, that was all the money he had.
What?
$500,000 is a lot of money. This was in '89,
Yeah.
so they were just started. And what their album
yeah,
come out in
500,000 in
88,
'89
I
was
think
worth
the
$2.5 million now.
Yeah.
Well, I get. Yeah, I didn't think of it like that.
When you have to pay somebody $500,000, that's a lot of money out your bank account.
It is.
Not out of yours.
Mine don't have
Oh,
that in there.
that one even put a dent in Scott's.
He's got an
Yeah.
890 credit score. I looked at your mail. He can go to Lowe's, buy something just like that.
He gets the Lowe's. They already have it out for
It's
him.
$892.
Hey, oh, excuse
He can go to Tesla and buy something just like that.
He's got Elon Musk shaking in his boots.
Yeah.
Elon's buying from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, mine.
You found
Mine's
something.
not sexy at all. It's not long. I got a quick one because I didn't have time. It's a quickie. I ain't had time to do research. So it's Metallica versus Napster, and this is where Lars became the most hated person, including me. I hated that bastard too because I was getting all the good music for free.
See,
Yeah, he didn't
we
want you to get
we
it.
were all getting those viruses on our computers, and we were happy.
See, I wasn't. I was on their side because what?
You were on their side because why?
Well, because I didn't think it was right for everybody to be getting their music for free.
So you wanted to spend your hard-earned money?
I did
No,
spend
he
my
didn't, he
money.
didn't say that. He just said that he didn't think it was
but
right.
I didn't think it was right for somebody to spend, thousands and thousands of dollars recording their music and paying producers and all this, and then to have a bunch of people getting it for free.
Because Loris has lived a rough life, I can
That's
tell you.
not my train of thought when I was 16.
And that's fine. I'm just telling you what I was thinking at the time.
I thought it was the greatest thing ever. But when that bastard,
And-
sued
and-
Napster.
And as the world turns, look what's developed now. You get to listen to Spotify.
Yep, YouTube
Well,
for free anyway.
YouTube,
How
iTunes.
about
That's
that?
something.
Say something now. Anyway,
so the way the world goes.
So Lars goes overboard with Napster. He sues them for $10 million, and I mean,
Oh, was it that much?
well, it was that much, but it was a big thing. I would figure it would be bigger than that.
Yeah.
So basically,
when did
Metallica was just suing. They was like, okay, I don't give a shit about any other artists. You gonna give us a $10 million?
This happened when? What, in
2000,
2000?
and
Well, $10 million still be a lot of money back then.
yeah, but
Even now.
you know,
Even now, $10 million is a lot.
Lars was kind of out there by himself. You know, he was.
Well, he was the most vocal. I think everybody was still together, all part of it, but
Well,
he was the most vocal.
He was the front
The
man.
band,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
but I'm talking about all the other artists.
Oh,
They
sure.
didn't jump on the bandwagon until the lawsuit was well in,
Into play.
and then
Yeah.
then other artists started suing. Then that's what became the downfall of Napster. It really wasn't Metallica; it was everybody else jumping in. It was okay. We can't do this.
Yeah, two other bands started
Yeah.
piling on it. Just
Lars
Piggyback
started the
off
train, and
Yeah.
he took the hits, man. He was hated. Ooh,
He was the
hated.
mouth, but he was okay with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I don't think you know. Fucking buy my CD. What the fuck, man?
Wow.
that was quite actually pretty good.
I'm
You
impressed.
fucking go buy a fucking $12 CD.
You were good.
yeah,
That was pretty good. I'm impressed.
a
As soon as
cross between Lars and Arnold.
As soon as you started, I was like, "Here comes the soundbite we've been looking for." But then you actually did pretty good.
Well, thank you, man. I try.
Don't do it anymore though.
But I. But that's. I really sorry, guys. I didn't do a lot of research. I just had that little bit of information for you for my guitar topic.
So did they the lawsuit come to anything? I mean, did the Napster have to pay anything, or
well,
they just?
all I know
you
is
said
they paid Metallica $10 million. I don't know.
So they did pay Metallica.
Oh
$10
yeah,
million.
oh yeah, they got $10 million. But I don't know what they paid the other artists. I don't know when they filed for bankruptcy. I didn't research.
Well, didn't Napster then start to go into like some more commercial type stuff to where
Yeah,
they were?
they started branching out. I think the
It
other,
eventually, obviously disappeared. But
Yeah.
I feel
What
like
if they're YouTube, dude?
they might be
That's
the same guy.
conspiracy stuff right there.
The friends of friends.
What
But
if they're YouTube?
Tom from
and
MySpace.
they're like sticking in the middle. We won anyway, motherfuckers.
But it
Sounds
changed
like a
the
South
way
Park episode.
Yeah.
it changed the way music is listened to. Everybody streams music now, and Napster is still around. So
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
I mean,
Napster still around?
oh yeah,
Where are they at?
They hard.
I
and
ain't
heavy.
found them.
Hey, hit Google, you'll find them.
but now,
still
just
out.
like it's everything's streaming now. It's
Yep.
people don't go out and buy music like they used to. I remember I used to love. I couldn't wait till one of my favorite bands would put out a
God.
CD or something that
Well, I
going
know-
to the record store and
Yeah,
picking it
man.
up and flipping through the
What
booklet,
what was your
look at
was
everything. while
Ray's
listening to
CDs
it.
still open back in the day?
Oh yeah,
Ray's,
Back behind
Roses.
Roses.
Birdland.
yeah,
it was Birdland?
You remember Birdland?
I do
Yeah.
remember
I
Birdland.
don't remember, but my
Like you were too young.
Well, yes, that's what Sam Goody was my first, like go-to store.
At the
And-
mall?
No, right here in Hartsville. It was in the strip mall,
I don't remember Sam Goody.
right beside PetSmart just opened. Sam Goody was right
There was
there.
a
Yeah.
PetSmart in Hartsville. Are you
It
sure?
it still is.
It's Pet Lovers.
Pet lovers.
That was a PetSmart then.
You sure it wasn't
They're not.
Florence?
They're not a sponsor. You shouldn't be calling their name. Let them give you some
They
money.
owe us $100.
Let them give you some money.
Oh, you owe us $100. We called your name out. What the fuck?
So Napster kind of started.
Now that was more like Arnold there.
so
Get
now,
to-
so
That's
Napster,
when Lars gets mad. He turns into Arnold.
so Napster kind of started the
What the
streaming
fuck? Get to the
platform
chopper!
the way it is,
Get to the chopper.
which is what lets your podcast be
It's
streamed.
not a tumor. You remember that movie?
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
But did you even go to Sam Goody's when it was open? Or
I don't
was the Bird
remember.
was your go-to?
The
Birdland.
bird.
Birdland.
Birdland.
Birdland
That
music.
was Fort
Is that,
Ray's.
Ray's.
There
is
a
that
lot.
what all the cool kids call it? The bird. Let's go to the bird.
Well, he never went. He wasn't old enough.
What? I was old. You couldn't. You had to be a certain age to get in that thing.
That's why you weren't there. You don't know that.
They had the little booth in the
No,
back.
Yeah, me and your brother used to go. We
William,
buy
we'll
guitar
take you out
strings
there.
and
Yeah, they had all
they had-
the
they had the
tape,
books with-
CDs, everything.
they had the books with tablatures. So
yeah,
like,
tablature books.
I remember getting money from my dad, $40 to buy a Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusion tablature book because I was going to learn all the Guns N' Roses solos
Wow.
and didn't learn a single one from that big ass
Do you
book.
still got that book?
Hell no.
Oh shit.
No, I sold it for $50.
Well, did you hear? I like the way you think. That's the true Davis right there. Did you hear the episode where? Well, you heard about the poster, right? The
Oh, the Pantera poster.
Pantera. Yeah, he.
Oh yeah, I did.
How cool was it? Now, how cool if he still had that poster?
Well, like I said, I think Jason probably still has his.
I'll guarantee you.
We got to for real ask him because we need it right here behind us.
You ain't gonna get that from Jason.
Yeah, tell
He's
Jason
going to keep it all this time and let you have it and put it up in here.
You be like, Jason, can I borrow your guitar? No. Can I have your poster? Can I use it? No.
Well,
Hey, there was another thing real quick. It's not really, I guess it was a lawsuit, or maybe not. Dee Snider and Tipper Gore, the whole parental advisory.
Oh, yeah, that was the PMRC.
Yeah,
that was when that started.
Yeah, I thought about that when I was like, well, I guess it wasn't a lawyer versus lawyer type of thing, but it was still a huge deal.
No, yeah, it was
Huge deal. And that's still like...
Dee Snider was the one who stood up. It was Tipper Gore. I think there was 4 or 5 other congresswomen's wives.
Yeah.
It came together because it was the lyrics and the
Right.
music, you know.
Right.
And they were talking about how it was either satanic or had a lot of cussing and a lot of stuff that wasn't, good for adolescent children to hear. And so what they ended up settling with was coming up with the sticker. The sticker.
Yeah.
Which actually sold more records, I think, because kids saw
Absolutely.
that sticker on there and they're like,
That's marketing.
yeah, I want that.
What is
I remember,
what is on this CD that they don't want me to hear?
I remember
But they'll still sell it to me no matter how old I
Yeah.
am, as long as it's got their sticker on it.
I remember Jackal had a video for Down on Me, and their stage it was that the PMRC, the sticker that's on all the albums. That's what their stage was for that video for Down on Me,
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty cool. I mean, it looked cool,
Yeah.
because the camera angles when they're doing the video,
I have
it
to look
shows
that up.
it. And it's the parental advisory
Yep.
label. It's I think it was the Down on Me video by Jackal. But so they used it in there because they were like, this is such a big marketing tool. We're gonna use it as our damn stage.
Sure.
that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. No, it was.
It is. Somebody tells you can't go into this room, you want to know why.
Yeah. Why can't I go in there?
And then if you find out you can legally go in that room, no repercussions,
And guess
nothing's
what
going to
you're
happen
gonna
if
do?
you go in
Don't go in
there,
that room.
but they're
You're
telling
gonna
you
go
don't.
in that room.
Yeah. So you're going to go in there. So now you've got a sticker that says parental advisory, and the kids are going, but I don't have to have my parents' permission to buy this. So they buy it.
I like that. Good stuff, right?
I like it.
But
I'm going to start putting those stickers on all my stuff that I'm trying to sell. Like, I got a guitar for sale, parental advisory.
Well, I don't know if it'd have the same effect now as it did back then.
No, but it sounds good in my head, and it might sound good in somebody else's head.
Yeah.
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
You got a shot right here, Carol.
He's got ladies and gentlemen, Carol has left the table. His weak ass bladder. Now he's stopping at the bar. They need some libations. I tell you what, we need a bartender. This looks so unprofessional. Oh, I got a number 2. I got to make a bowel movement. Be right back. God Almighty, this is
Well, you're just starting. You're 7 episodes in.
yeah. We're trying.
We're newbies.
We're
Right.
newbies
By,
to this.
by episode 10, you have a bartender here.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Joe Rogan probably looking at our shit like, yeah, I remember them days.
I know. Yeah, he's probably not.
No, he's
Yeah.
probably just looking at you saying,
and by-
I remember those days.
And by episode 12,
By the
We'll
way, I
have-
am a subscriber of Joe Rogan.
by episode,
Hopefully.
by episode 12, we'll have like Tom Green used to do, walk around with a urinal. That way, nobody has to get up.
I was just about to say I would be your bartender for your episodes. I'll just stay back there and be quiet.
He wouldn't be quiet.
But I wouldn't bring urinals around.
What do you,
If you had a
draw the
bartender,
line.
you got to have a microphone for the bartender.
Yeah.
we'll have to do? What you think about it, Mr. Scream?
Mr. Scream.
Wayne's World.
Oh,
Come on, man. You totally missed
maybe
that.
that's just what I would say every time you'd say Mr. Scream. I'd say Mr. Scream.
Mr. Scream.
Hey,
Oh, I just got that. What you were talking about?
God almighty, I'm done.
You were over everybody's
Y'all are
head.
20 years older than me, and I'm dishing out this knowledge. Oh, what was that?
No, we just watch better shows.
Whatever. All right, we got to switch gears. Looks like.
Sorry, I'm a little late.
See? All right, we are going to the dark side.
Already?
To the dark side.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's time to go to the dark
About
side.
perfect timing.
Did y'all get that?
Yeah, something off Elm Street.
I just thought he was going into something else.
Hell no.
We need to have a Chris's World segment.
Chris's
This
World.
is Chris's World.
Or you just set him in the corner with a microphone.
No, you
And
just
let him go
set
off.
him in the bathroom with a microphone.
No, let's don't do that. You know, tell him what we're here.
Carol, let's before we start the segment, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
All right. I'm gonna put it
Let's
in
just
with
watch.
AI.
Y'all just be silent. Don't talk. Make it awkward.
We can always cut this out. We can edit it.
So, the sponsors for the show this week is Maryland's Fried Chicken. Maryland's Fried Chicken. You can get the popcorn. You can get the popcorn chicken and everything else. And I don't know why he constantly says something about sponsors. But, Scott, where you going?
Again?
Scott's going again. But, and also we got Wings. Wings has got a great atmosphere if you enjoy listening to live music.
Wings and ale.
Yep, Wings and Ale. Spiro's Wings and Ale. If you enjoy listening to live music and if you enjoy a great atmosphere, you want to go to Wings. Also, we got Shane's Tire and Towing, which is first in the tire business. If you go with anybody else, you are probably spending too much money. And we also got Northside Auto Parts. They got paint. They got auto parts. They got tire services. Northside is a great company, been in business for a long time. So if you need any kind of parts or anything, check out Northside. And now that Scott is back, we are moving back to the next
Thank you,
section.
sponsors. We appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Couldn't do it without you. We'd be broke. We wouldn't have no alcohol. We wouldn't have shit to talk about. You want your little fancy glass?
That's a fancy glass.
Hey, that's a cool glass.
It is cool.
It's got the Trey. You want to show the camera that? That thing looks
Yeah.
cool. It's got the pick stuck
show
in it.
Show it to the camera, Trey.
Hi, I'm Trey. You can tell that I'm Trey. By the Trey Davis.
We're seeking a bartender.
I just said show him the damn thing. I didn't say get up there. And,
I'm sorry. I thought I should advertise myself a little bit.
You should.
In case you couldn't hear me, it's Trey Davis. And if you didn't know, it's because it says it on my glass.
And if you need any photography, if you need any help with websites, if you need, Trey has done a lot for us, and he's done
Yes,
stuff for
he
me
has.
personally. So if you need anything,
He saved my marriage.
reach out.
This is true.
You don't like Kimberly?
What's that?
You don't like Kimberly?
No, I saved because I talked to her and told her not to leave.
No, I'm saying you saved his marriage. You don't like Kimberly?
Oh, we going to the dark side.
oh,
Guillotine
you hold it by the
section.
pick.
I do. Some people
that's
hold it by
the-
the glass.
That's the way to do it.
But if you don't have a pick,
Looks like a little coffee mug like that.
Cheers, guys.
All right.
it's going to wake me up.
Ooh, I like it.
I think the buttery nipple's better than
What was that? Fireball?
Yeah, that was
That's
Fireball.
Fireball.
That wasn't bad.
When we gonna take a shot of some of the
Desperado's gone. He done. poured
no,
it.
some of the South African.
You
told him
threatened
he
my
couldn't
life if I opened it.
No, that one on the corner
Oh,
over
the
there.
other one. Don't open the veins.
The Ruffin Stone some Roston.
Well, I guess
You
that'll-
hear the name of that?
I
You
guess
want to
that'll be-
taste that?
I guess
You
that'll
can't
be
even
cut out.
pronounce it. The rough stuff.
Give me the rum stain.
The Rumstein. It's got a million
It's got-
Rockins in it.
It's got an ox with a beard on it.
Which one is it?
An ox with a beard.
That's something I want to
You
drink.
might want to show that to the camera in case anyone would like to
Hey, go,
partake
you
in
know
that.
what? Go ahead and load us up one. We'll take one in a minute. Go ahead and
No, I'm good.
go ahead, pour us a shot, Trey.
Ruffles Fontaine.
Like I said, Ruffles
Brandywine. Brandywine. That's going to be
Brandywine.
Brandywine.
Brandywine. Yeah.
Go ahead, pour us
But
a
Durf
shot.
just do Joe Ro Blicken.
I heard blinking.
Let me see it. Let me show it to the camera for my South African friends.
Oh, I was reading it like it was
South
German.
Africa?
Yeah, it's from South Africa.
All right. I thought we was going to pour a shot.
No, we don't need that.
You tell him, Scott.
All right, we on our guillotine section, and it is. Have you ever been to a haunted place? And if you have, did you experience anything?
Yes. Did you experience any paranormal activity?
So who will be starting this segment?
Trey.
No,
You gonna? No.
no, because I brought exhibits.
All right, I'll start this segment off.
Save
We
Trey's
got a
for last.
slideshow.
I have a slideshow. I have a PowerPoint presentation I'd like to show everybody.
You got your little pointer. Your little,
Yeah.
What's it called?
I got to read over it. It's a pointer. That's good.
Is that what?
Yeah,
pointer?
laser.
A
It's a pointer.
pointer?
No,
A
I
laser
thought
pointer?
the little stick, almost like what a conductor uses.
Like a wand.
Yeah, but I thought it had a name.
It
You
does-
talking about
it does
Harry
have a name.
Potter's world.
I think it has a name.
It does have a name.
But when you see people where they have the PowerPoint presentation, they're like
Yeah, but
point one, and they
That was back in '96, Scott. We got lasers and
usually when I use
I
a
know,
pointer,
but the pointers were cool.
I usually use one that it's a big stick and it has the little Mickey Mouse hand glove that points on the end of it. That's a good one.
That's where we are now, Scott. That's where we are. All right, hell, I'll go first.
Go first.
So, yes, I lived in a haunted place. My mom and daddy's house.
Really?
And I had the perfect story for you.
What was the name of it? The Hicks Manor or something like that.
Yeah, actually
Is it a popular haunted house? I mean, was this an attraction that
Now-
people went to?
It could have been.
Now, before you start speaking, Trey has spent a lot of time over there. Have you ever seen anything mysterious over there, Trey, or anything?
Yeah. William came back from the bathroom one time.
Don't do that when I'm drinking. Something assaulted my nostrils. I was wondering what it was.
We need to make sure to keep this episode away from William.
No, he knows about it. He saw it. He was there.
He'll just blink.
What's Drake talking about?
Let's not talk about that $6 battery. He heard that episode. He's still talking about it. He said, I'm going to shove that $6 battery up his ass.
A $6 battery.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
a 9-volt battery. Hey, Scott, you got a 9-volt battery? And
Oh.
Scott looked
Well, I
at him.
gave him a battery.
Well, yeah. I mean, I paid for
I
it.
was like, yeah, this thing was $6.
You bought it from a
He's
gas
like-
station, didn't you?
He was like, thank you. Took it, and I was like,
It's good.
and never paid me back. Apparently, William listened to that episode.
Yeah, he said,
Next
I tell
time he
you-
sees me, going to shove that
He
battery
said,
up my ass.
I'm going to buy the damn cheapest damn battery I could find.
I want a $6 battery. I don't want the cheapest.
Did you lose any sleep over that battery?
Hell
Be
yeah, he
honest,
did.
be honest.
He
No,
wrote it
I
off
didn't.
on the 1099. So William.
Yeah,
No, hell, I didn't.
At least
Man, quit with that shit.
It was still cheaper than cheese puffs.
it was. Yep.
$7 cheese
Those
puffs.
damn cheese puffs.
Man, I wish I had me some cheese puffs right now. $7 cheese puffs right here in the middle of the table.
I did. As a fan of the show, I actually thought about buying I was going to try to figure out exactly where you got them or whoever got them and buy the $7
Nobody
bottle.
knows because the name brand is a fucking
It's
hers
hers.
or
It
something.
should have.
What's it called?
Yeah, it's hers.
Hers.
They're at Dollar General, probably.
I don't know.
I
don't
did
know
think
where they're
about
from.
it. I did think about it and almost got it, but I forgot. And actually, I was going to get them yesterday, but since you canceled us and moved us back a day,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot
Shit
today.
happens.
Yeah, shit happens, Trey. Especially covered up shit.
All right. Language, Chris, please. Watch your language, man. Come on. We're trying to keep this family oriented.
All right,
All
so
right. Now, we done.
All right, you're at the Hicks
Yeah.
Manor.
This
we got
is-
off the beaten path.
So
We
this
did.
is my. I had many encounters at my mom and dad's house because it was
Many in cameras. What does that mean?
Encounters.
Oh, encounters. Okay.
I said it. Did it? What the hell
You
did
said
I say?
in cameras. I thought you were walking around with a bunch of cameras or something. Encounters, anyway. Go ahead.
Moving forward.
Yeah, thank you. Until I was rudely interrupted, but I've encountered many of spiritual, intimate sessions at my mom and dad's house.
Intimate sessions?
Yeah.
I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna race the intimate section. Y'all's a bunch of damn
I was
perverts.
about-
I'm just-
I was about to
Y'all's
say,
damn
asking.
minds are wandering right now. Internet.
Well, you're making minds wonder.
Well, all right. So
that's the worst thing is when you walk into an intimate thing with your parents.
know.
I'll tell you a little bit of stuff. I've seen doors closed on their own. I've actually seen a light bulb.
You putting
unscrew.
images in my head. I don't want to.
I've actually seen
See.
a light bulb unscrew in front of my face on the damn the ceiling fan. I've actually seen a little mist, here and there. But this is the worst one. My daughter, she couldn't have been 3 or 4 at the time. So Kimberly and I are sitting in the den, and my mom and dad's house is a 2-story house. It's a split level house, and we're sitting in the den, and Kinsley, my daughter, was playing upstairs. And we just heard her laughing, like cackling, like laughing really hard. And she, it caught our attention. She, we thought it was cute. Oh, what's she laughing about, And she said, do it again. Who's she talking to, So we kind of started listening. And then she was like, oh, my God. She, just, oh, that's so funny, laughing like hysterically. I was like, what the hell is going on up there, And
she's by herself, right?
She's by herself upstairs. And so, if you ever been to Mom and Dad's house, the staircase used to angle and then go straight up.
Over the garage?
No,
or go up
on
to
the den.
over their bedroom.
Yep. So I walked up the split level part and I called up Kinsley. I said, Kinsley, come here. And she was standing at the top of the stairs. I said, hey, baby, what's going on? She said, Daddy, she is so funny. I said, who is she? And she was, she's in there.
Did she say the name?
She didn't say a name. She just pointed. And I was like,
did you go in there?
hell no. Listen.
You said, come to me. Come here.
I looked at
Come
Kimberly.
here.
I said, who? I said, Kimberly, who was she?
It sounded like Wizard of Oz. Who's her? Who's her?
Who was she? And Kimberly was like, hell, I don't know. I said, well, go out there and find out. She said, that's your job. I said, hell no. I said, Kinsley, you come down here right now.
Come here.
Come here. No.
So y'all stayed downstairs?
No.
It never went back up again.
So I
boarded off
ended up going up
upstairs.
there and I picked her up and I went. It was the room over the kitchen. Remember that room? Mm-hmm. I said, baby, where is she at? And she pointed to the closet. And I opened the closet. I said, where's she at, baby? And she said, she's gone. She's not there no more. She said she was like pointing to the corner. She was right there. And I said, okay. So
I got 2 questions for you.
Well, listen, hear me out. I was
go ahead.
kind of spooked out, but I was like, she's just, imagination, So I was okay. So I walked back downstairs, got back on my recliner because it was a Saturday, trying to relax, Then I heard her cackling again, like, and the chair that sits in the living room has a view of the upstairs, right? So I was kind of, just looking upstairs, but I could hear her in the room. So I saw they had tricycles and, stuff. I had stuff up there for she can play with.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the fucking tricycle cross the staircase and actually turn and go down. The staircase is like L-shaped. So it
Yeah.
That's
right
some
time it
Stephen
hits
King
the,
stuff.
the staircase, there's a left turn. The damn
They
tricycle.
made a left turn.
Kinsley was following right behind it, and she was giggling. Kimberly didn't see it, but I looked at her. I said, you will not believe what I just saw. I said, that damn tricycle is moving by itself, and it just made a left turn, and Kinsley's right behind it. So,
Who went and got her, you or Kimberly?
no, I went up there. I ran up there because I was literally scared. I was like,
Panic mode.
yeah. I ran up there, and Kinsley was about to the bathroom that was upstairs. You make another turn. There's the bathroom. The tricycle was right at the door. The door was closed, and she was just looking at it. And I just picked her up, and I went downstairs, and we got in the car, and we got the hell out of there.
So when did you go back?
We lived there at the time. I had to go back that night. But I told, how my daddy is. I told my daddy about it. He was like, hey, boy, you crazy, boy. You stupid.
So, man, I'm glad you're telling me this now, though, because way back then, when I used to stay over there, we would either stay in his room was either over your parents' room or over the garage.
Yep.
And I'd get up and go wherever the bathroom was and didn't think anything about it. So I'm glad I didn't hear those stories back then. I'd probably piss on myself or out the window.
Well,
So I got two questions for you.
Yeah.
That night, what field were y'all in earlier, and what mushrooms did y'all eat?
Hey, I'm telling you, man. I know what I saw. I know what my daughter was doing. That was a damn ghost.
Does she remember that story now?
Yeah, have you talked
daughter?
to Kinley about it?
Nope.
How old was she then?
She was about 3.
Okay. Well,
She was barely, walking and imagination up the wazoo. But I get the imagination part. That's why I was like, she's just, doing her.
But the
when I
tricycle in
seen
front of
that
her.
damn tricycle turn by itself, something's wrong here. Something's bad wrong here, and this something I don't want to deal with.
I'm not going
But
in that
this
field
is-
again.
But that's like my climax
That's what he
story.
said. These edibles ain't shit.
Fucking waste of money.
That was, from my experience, that was my climax story. But, like my little cousin Josh and other people, they had experienced like similar stuff, Like Kimberly-
I was there a lot. And so much I never experienced it.
Well, Kimberly claims she, you walking through the front door and, the upstairs, the
Well, he did
balcony.
build that house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With his bare hands.
Yeah, but who knows what he built on top of?
Well, that's true. Because my granddad.
Tricycle
So
riders.
your parents were they built the house, so they were the only ones who lived there. Nobody, it wasn't like it existed.
There were some deaths there, but on the land,
Yeah, we took care of a couple of them.
But Kimberly claims
We went to the
if you-
Gaines-
if
we
you
put 'em in the
walk
Gaines'
in-
backyard.
If you walk into mom and dad's front door, it's like a foyer.
Oh, yeah.
And you look up, there's
Foyer.
you can see all
Is
the way
that
upstairs.
You trying to make it sound?
It's a damn foyer.
Exotic.
Foyer.
He's
It's a damn foyer.
a foyer.
Foyer.
But if you look up,
There's a
you
new
can see
twist
the
on it.
balcony,
Yeah.
of it upstairs, and there's a chandelier, fancy stuff. But Kimberly claims she walked in one day and looks up. She said there was an old man in a white.
Okay,
beard.
you said Kimberly claims, so you don't believe her? But you're telling the
I
story.
believe her, but this
Well,
I didn't
you
see
wouldn't
it.
have said she
I didn't see
claimed.
it. I didn't see it, but she says she looked up and she's seeing a man with like old man, gray or with a wife beater, like big tall man standing over looking over the railing, and that was,
And he said, "Your old man's a pussy."
that was Papa Kenny,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
McKinnon, Papa McKinnon. He was looking over the rails. That was my mama's daddy.
Usually ghosts are from the Victorian era.
I was excited to tell this damn story.
hey, and that actually was an interesting story.
wife beater usually will come into it.
you lost me there.
Yeah.
That was actually a really good story, man.
I'm telling you, man. It was.
That was
know.
crazy. I'm just glad. Like I said, I'm really glad to hear it now and not 30
then.
years ago. 30 years ago, I'd be like, your brother's like,
I can't-
Trey, come stay at my house. Hell no, I'm not staying over there. I'll come over in the daytime and hang out outside by the pool.
I'm not
Hang
coming
out in
over
the
there.
backyard.
I'm not even pissing in the house.
I'll piss in the pool.
But yeah,
That's pretty good.
that was my
That was
ghost story.
interesting.
That was very interesting.
It still scares me today. 'Cause I could see
And
it.
see, that's crazy.
I can see it vividly right now. That damn
As long as
red
I've known you, I
tricycle.
didn't know any of this.
Is that closet still there?
Yes, it is.
I think you should spend like 3 straight days in it. Let's hook
well,
some
my
cameras up.
baby
That'd be
sister.
good for the
I
show,
had a-
you know.
I had
It
a-
would be.
I had a baby sister that died. She was like 9 months old. You didn't know that, did
I
you?
didn't know that.
Have you ever watched MTV used to have a show called Fear back in the early 2000s?
I fucking love that.
I did too. We used to
You remember
watch
the
it all the time.
Godsmack song used to? It used to.
Yeah, but you remember how they would go to like supposedly haunted places?
Stay in a coffin for a little while,
Yeah.
or do crazy challenges.
Yeah, dude,
like in
a
haunted
bunch
places.
of
Yeah.
a bunch of different crazy challenges. Would
Yeah.
you do something like that?
No,
I think you should spend. I think you
I don't
should.
think I could do it, man. I could. I ain't got the nerve. I
It,
think you
would be
should spend the
crazy, 'cause
night in the
I've seen
closet.
some of them were like that. One of them gets because they have a safe room that they all were in, and then they just had a screen that would tell them
Where
what
to
to
go.
do. What,
Yep.
and what a lot of times it'd be 2 of them go together, and sometimes it'd be just one. Be like number 4. Your objective for tonight is to go to the west wing
I
of
love
the
that.
prison,
Yeah.
and stay in cell.
They would go to
cell
asylums.
blocks.
Yep.
Yeah, cell block 6, and shut the door and stay there until further notified, and be like, what the hell?
And I think Chris should go stay in that closet for one night, and I think you should go with him.
But then that person would be gone.
Chris needs to come out of the closet.
And then it would be
Shut up.
the camera come on. I mean the person
Weak ass bladder.
on the
I ain't went to the
computer
bathroom
would,
not one time tonight.
would say, you will never hear from number 4 again. He completed his check. You will never hear from him again. He just wouldn't come back to the place or whatever it was.
I can't believe I forgot about that show. I used to love to watch that show.
We used to have watching parties with it. We'd have alcohol, drinking, and we used to at Tootie's house.
You would have alcohol? I didn't
it's
participate in anything.
I wasn't invited.
Well, this was it was only for a select group of people.
The privileged ones.
Privileged.
Oh, so
Did Chris get to come over with you, or did he get the
didn't know
boot to the
Chris at the
forehead?
time.
He got the boot to the forehead when he came to see Grind and you.
No. This is way before that. This was what that show come out when in early 2000s.
I don't think I ever saw it.
I think it was before.
It was called Fear. MTV
I
put it out.
remember that.
I feel like I remember the show, but I don't think I ever actually saw it. But I don't watch a lot of TV in there.
Yeah, well, we started watching
Kimberly
it.
just
and it was,
emailed us about the exact same damn story.
Stop lying, Chris.
Look at the email. I'm telling you. Oh yeah.
What does it say?
She's talking about the the wife beater. Yeah, I told you.
Your husband's
Thank
a
you, Kimberly.
pussy.
Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you for
Well, you guys got your stories together before you left.
Thanks, Kimberly, for covering for Chris.
He said, "Wait till 8:42."
that was what he did when we were talking. He was like, "Back me up on this.
Back me up, Kimberly.
Back me up." He shot her a text real quick.
that's a damn
Let
lie.
me see your text to Kimberly right now.
Hold on.
Okay, see that? No,
Thank you so much.
No, not doing that.
Don't tell him that the guy in the wife beater said, I will kick your husband's ass.
Let's tell him it was a wife beater, and not a Victorian era.
What did I say that was Victorian era?
You didn't say anything that was Victorian era.
That was just that every time you see or hear anything about
they're usually from
ghosts,
the
apparitions.
older times.
Yeah, they usually kind of seem to be from that. You don't hear.
You don't hear one who comes from the 90s listening to Tupac.
Whatever. It's Trey's turn.
It was a good story, Chris. Chris, it was a good story.
It was.
Thank y'all.
Both of them
Thank
were
you.
actually.
It
Both of them.
But
was
they
a
are
good
true
story.
stories. There is
No, I'm
no
just saying
lie
it
to
was-
that is true stories.
it was a good
and
story.
anybody who's been to my mom and daddy's house for protest how spooky that damn house was at night.
Protest.
Protest.
That's
I
what
never
I'm
remember
saying.
that being spooky.
Is it
I don't
protest?
either. I'm telling you. And
Protest,
that's,
I think, would be
yeah,
the
that's the
opposite of what
opposite.
he's saying.
Yeah, I don't doubt your story at all. But I was there so much
He just don't think
for
they're
so
real.
so many years that
I didn't eat out the
I never
fields.
saw. I saw all kinds of crazy shit, but none of it was
From ghosts.
ghosts.
Ghostly.
It means he saw it from the Hicks family.
It was very, very, very alive.
God damn.
Oh, man. That was a good
Don't
one.
walk through the fields.
Okay. Chris, that was good, though.
That was a good
Who's
story.
going next?
Are
Are we
I'm
going
still
around the table,
stuck.
or are we going?
Yeah, I'll go.
pick
I'll
and
go
choose?
next.
We're
I'll go
going-
next.
All right, now we got Trey with his PowerPoint presentation.
Let me get my pointer out.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at this slide, no, so okay. So I try to. There's actually a whole lot of things that happened around this time, and I'll try to keep it.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
Scott.
really think that he should go last.
Okay, Scott.
I really think he should
Why?
go last.
No, he's
Okay.
ready
You
to go
know what he's
now.
gonna say?
No, I do because I already heard the story, but he's got evidence.
He asked. Yeah, he asked
Okay,
me.
all right. We got, all right.
He asked me if I was going to tell the story, and I said yeah. And he said yes.
I want him to go last because
Okay,
he's got a lot
we'll
of details.
save Trey for
Okay,
last.
hold on a minute.
That'll be the big build up.
Hold on a minute. Trey, do you want to go last, or would you like to go now?
I like going
No,
last.
let's let it.
Okay, well let Trey
We'll
go
let
like-
it go
last.
last.
I like when everybody opens for me.
Because I don't really have shit. So yeah, so I don't want to go last. Well, if Trey's got all this evidence, and all, let's let him. Be
I
the
didn't say
big-
it was evidence.
big build up or video it. You said it was video evidence.
He's got
Well,
photo
I mean, don't
evidence.
spill
I didn't
the
say
beans
video.
until-
I have a
Okay,
PowerPoint.
and
Trey's-
you already told me you got a slideshow.
Well, no, I mean,
It was dark that day.
Yeah. Show the camera the darkness. No.
It was dark. You could tell us. You could tell it's dark because it's black.
So Scott, are you going next?
Yeah,
or you want me
I'll
to
go next. And one place I went to, and this was last year. Me and Sierra went. We went to Savannah, and we did one of those tours. It was a graveyard. It's supposed to be a haunted graveyard tour or whatever. I paid like $40 per person for this thing.
I bet you about died.
Did you cuss her out that night?
No.
Did you cuss at your wife?
No, but we went and met.
I hope you bought some gummy snacks. Your ass ain't eating.
We went and met where we were supposed to on the corner. In which Savannah's a real beautiful place if you've ever been. Yep. You know, it's
Savannah, Georgia,
and known that whole area is known for paranormal.
Across the bridge, and
yeah. I mean the whole area is known for a lot of
go across the bridge, you know,
paranormal activity. But
across the bridge,
yeah. But, so we met up where we were supposed to meet up, and this was a walking tour. And I was just expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be more than what it was.
Probably was.
We met up with our guide. We start going. We go to this tombstone. He's talking about what has happened, and you know, after about 10 minutes of walking around this one graveyard, you know, and the tour was supposed to last like 50 minutes, I think, or something. After about 10 minutes, I mean, I was like, me and Sierra were kind of hanging at the back of the crowd, you know, and I was like,
I want my money back.
No, I was just like, at that time, I was like, this ain't doing it for me. I was like, you ready to go? She was like, yeah, I don't really care for that. I was like, let's kind of sneak on out. So we just kind of fell back from the group, you know, and we just left. I mean, it sucked.
And they're telling all those ghost stories, and then all of a sudden everybody goes, wait a minute, there were 2 people with us.
Where the other 2 people go?
Oh, wouldn't that be funny if that's what happened?
Shit, we're next.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that thing, it was, and I mean, it might have been a lot better. I don't know. But at the time, and it could have been had been in Savannah all day, you know, walking around, traveling, and we'd been on 2 or 3 different tours also, so that could have had something to do with it. But that thing, yeah.
So you didn't see nothing haunted yet?
No, didn't experience anything. It was basically a guy telling you what happened here at a certain time, and that there had been some paranormal activities or whatever. But it sucked. But I do have one story I wanted to talk about, which I thought was hilarious. I mean, it's nothing scary or anything, but there used to be it was near Chesterfield. It was like a old local urban legend. Old Man Joe.
Old Man Joe.
Got a lot for your pie.
Yeah.
I think we all remember that.
I think a lot of people remember that. We used to go. Was that a apparition that did that?
Oh man, Joe
just got pushed.
This place haunted.
He's getting pulled in the water.
But we used to go to that thing when we were like 20 years old, all the time. And it started out just being a few of us going.
Oh yeah.
And then it turned into
massive
we would have
crowds.
20, 25 people going out there. And it was a stupid thing. You go to a bridge, light a lighter, and say, you know, Old Man Joe, I got a light for your pipe. And supposedly, you could hear him wading through the water coming.
So do you ever
us
remember?
Us and our cousin, Little Wayne, out in Washington State, him and his wife, they came down and we did that. That was 2 years ago.
So do you ever remember?
2 years ago.
Bingham's Lake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's what I was thinking of.
Anyway, one time I think we had about 25 people out here on this bridge, and there was I can't remember his last name, Brent, real tall guy, 6'5".
Yeah.
McCatchin?
No,
but
it was Brent.
He
redheaded Brent.
Yeah, redheaded Brent. I mean, he was tall. He was a lot.
What's
he
Brent's
towered
last
over
name?
everybody else. And when we were walking out there, he was so skittish. I was like, is he fucking just joking around? Is he really scared? But he was really scared. He was terrified being out there because we were out there in the middle of the night. You know, it was pitch black, and it was like 25 of us. We get out there and somebody's standing up front and, you know, does the lighter and starts saying the little Old Man Joe thing.
What's the whole saying?
I remember me and Ryan were at the back. Ryan picked up a big old rock
And throwed it.
and I was sitting there looking at him, and everybody else was facing this way, and there was also the river or the creek and the woods behind us, and Ryan took that right. Ryan used to be a baseball player. So Ryan could throw, and I was sitting there watching him, and he reared back. And he threw that rock. And I mean, it went all through the woods. Brent knocked people over to get the hell out of there. He ran all the way back to where we had the cars parked. I mean, he left everybody. He was like, I ain't being no hero. I'm getting out of here. Everybody else is going to die. But I mean, I remember me and Ryan just laughing like hell. You might have been. I think there was a lot of us who were there.
You remember you used to have to put your keys on the hood.
Oh, yeah. That's one thing you had to do.
It always seemed like when somebody would say, "Oh, man, Joe, I got a light for your pipe," it would always seem like you could hear steps in the water, whether you could or not. It was all in your head.
It sounded, and that's what I think it was. It was your mind playing tricks on you.
You're
It sounded like
rocks.
somebody wading through the water.
It did. It really did.
Because when everybody got quiet, you could kind of hear it, and it was like, and I mean, it's a creek, it's a stream, so it's water flowing anyway.
They wasn't even really a bridge there anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're quiet and you're sitting there thinking about the story,
you're listening for something. You're going to hear something.
You're going to hear something, and then you start hearing, and you're like, oh, that's it.
That's just like when it's dark at night, and all of a sudden you get something in your mind about somebody following you, or a ghost or something like that.
And then you can say,
you get a little chill on you, and you go, oh man, there might be actually something there.
Is that Chris Hicks standing in my yard?
Is that? Please don't have a tank top on.
Why beaters?
That's a funny story about that.
But anyway,
so
that's my So I hadn't really experienced any kind. Well, actually, I have at my mom's house. And I just thought about it. And this will be a real quick story. It was my mom's house that she lives in used to be her grandmother's house. So it was my great grandmother, and she actually died in that home. And this is the home we used to always practice in, have people over and all. And we were, I think Tyler McCracken, and I want to say either, I don't know if it was Daryl or Carol, one of them were staying with us, and me and Ryan, and we were all sleeping in this one room, and Tyler was sleeping on the couch. I think Ryan was sleeping in the bed, and I think me and it was either Daryl or Carol were sleeping on the floor or something, laying on the floor, and we were going to bed. And I remember waking up that night and seeing like a premonition of my grandma, and like she was leaned over, like looking at Tyler on the couch. And I just remember going, okay, I don't like this. And just covering my head up with the cover. I mean, this when I was, I guess, 16, 17, And it could have been dreaming. I don't know. I mean, it seemed like it was like I was awake, but who knows? But that's really my only kind of premonition story that I have. Not as cool as yours, I mean.
Well, your mom's got an old house.
Yeah.
How did she move in that house?
That house was, I think my great grandmother built that house, or great grandfather did. And I never knew my great grandfather.
So it's got to have some kind of.
Well, like I said, my great grandmother died in that house, and that was who I saw over Tyler that night. Was her.
I would have shit my damn pants. I'd have woke up.
Well, I tell you, I froze.
Swing right now.
No, I froze and I couldn't do anything. I just remember covering up with the cover over my head. I was just like, I don't want to see this anymore. I'm done.
Was that the night you stuck your thumb or whatever in the fan?
No, that wasn't him.
Thank God you said fan.
I was thinking the same damn thing, Trey. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, thumb? Thinking thumb and what?
Oh, come on.
Sorry, I wasn't on the microphone.
Gonna be no thumb in the ass.
Is that the night you had your thumb and
family show? Now, come on.
Sorry.
Y'all bunch of pervs. All right, Carol.
Negative.
What's your you had a premonition?
A premonition.
Premonition.
You know what that is?
That's a future view of what the hell you about to go through.
All right, close enough.
Don't you ever question me again.
Oh my goodness.
He's got one time in his whole life he finally got something he could give that back to me. All right.
So I remember, when we were younger in our early 20s or whatever, careless,
Oh yeah.
didn't really care about
back
working.
in the 50s. Yeah.
didn't really care about working too much. But like I remember the old man Joe stories, and I remember going to Beanham's Light. Bingham.
Can I interrupt there?
So anyway, no, yeah, go ahead. You can
So there
interrupt.
you were, Bingham's Light.
Well, just real quick, Bingham's Light.
Yep.
Is that true or false? I've never
So-
been. I always wanted to go.
Well,
is that true or false?
Well, it
I've
depends on who
seen-
you ask.
Yeah, I've been there. I've seen some. I've been there with a
Yeah.
group, and
You've
we
seen
all.
something.
I've been
we
there
all
with a
saw
group,
something.
and
You didn't see a lot.
But yeah,
Yeah, you
no,
can
I saw
see
a lot, and we all saw the same thing. We all saw what we expected to see. We all saw what we had heard stories about. So was it?
and that's
was it
that's
what
what
it
I
was?
remember going. I mean, you see something like you're going there expecting
Do you
to
know
see something,
actually
so-
what it is?
Don't ruin this for me.
Yeah,
God,
but
yeah, don't get scientific.
no, I'm not.
Well, no, it's
I'm
a
just saying
story
you
about
see
Because I-
something.
Swamp
what the,
gas.
What the
Yeah,
bingham
That's what they
light
said,
is.
right?
Yeah,
Swamp
yeah,
gas.
swamp gas. I mean, so you do see
That was their
something.
explanation for swamp gas.
So we don't know for sure.
No,
No, we don't.
Well-
but
well,
you know,
that's just what they said to keep
Where-
people
where-
off their property.
Yeah,
Where is the exact location of Bingham's
It's
Light?
in Latta.
No, it's in Mechanicsville.
Damn, that's way the hell out there.
it's
just
towards
outside of
Dillon,
Darlington.
ain't it? Or
Mechanicsville.
yeah, well, yeah,
Mechanicsville
it's-
Highway.
Yeah, it is Mechanicsville
Is the entrance
Highway.
to the
so-
place still there? Can we actually go
I
there?
haven't been there in a long time,
When
but
I remember us having to park and walk across the field.
because of
You couldn't drive.
Yep, because
Oh,
they
shit.
had cut the timber one time or
Yeah.
something, and it was always muddy and stuff in certain parts.
And
of
this
it.
was like 1994.
And
Yeah,
Chris is like, hell no with that.
Well, I always
In the dark,
like I
too.
heard William and Ken. I heard everybody talk about it. I'd never been. I've always wanted to go. I never even
Let's
knew
go.
where
This
the
is-
hell it was.
Let's
it's-
go now.
It's out there where you had
Oh,
to,
shit! Don't tip me. I will get in that Ford
It's-
of yours, and you will drive us to Mechanicsville.
it's where you parked. You had to go across the Blair Witch Field to get to the place where you can see it. So,
That's where they
you-
filmed
you-
that movie.
Yeah,
at.
you can see little
Yeah.
hangings of those little creatures.
Yeah, the little stick figure.
Yeah,
person.
that's where Chris would be like, hell no, I'm turning around.
I want to go. Look,
Yep.
we should all, swear to God,
Except
we should
now,
get some libations in us.
I've been.
except now it's
with
not
libations.
Bingham's Light. It's probably Bingham's shotgun because it's probably somebody's property.
Yeah, it's
when
not-
you go out there, you
right.
probably could get shot at.
Yeah, things are a little different now than they were back
They
when we used to
are.
do this kind of stuff. We used to go camping in the woods
I
in some
heard-
random woods. You can't do that anymore.
No,
I don't know. I forgot who told me, but they
Go
said
camping
they
on an
went-
underpass or something.
They
Overpass.
said they went out there and they was sitting in a car beside they actually made it to the railroad tracks with the car. If that's possible, I
Yeah.
don't know if you ever been there.
Yeah.
Is that possible
'Cause I
back
think-
in the day?
What I remember, I think it might have been the railroad tracks that kept you from going any further.
you're right.
Okay, so they're sitting in the car beside the railroad tracks,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they see the light,
Yep.
and they said it disappeared, and they were just like, they just talk shit,
It
It's like-
swings back and forth.
yeah. So all of a sudden, it's in the car, and they vacate the car.
No.
So now,
Yeah, so that's somebody they've
Who's been in
heard
the
that.
field.
They've
But
heard
just-
that urban legend.
well,
of somebody
just
else.
imagine me, a young boy, them telling me,
Oh,
that,
sure. Yeah. You
Yeah.
could make up. There's all
I
kinds of stories.
tear
Yeah.
that fucking car apart.
That's
I
what they
swear
tell
to
you.
God.
Some of that. It's the
You ever seen Cocaine Bear
Would you? Hey,
in a car? That'd have been me.
would you go back for the cheese balls?
Hell no. I tore everything out of that car. I tell you what. And I think about it, I forget who told me that.
so what was that?
Where you going? You saw
John-
Bingham's
John
Light? What the hell
Travolta?
So what was the actual story behind Bingham's Light?
So-
I mean, they said it was swamp gas.
Yep,
but
so-
what's the urban legend?
So
type
there was
story?
a guy that come to the high school where we went to. His name was Vance Johnson, and he wrote a book called Carolina Folk Tales or
Yep.
whatever.
I know that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so his story, which was a little bit different than what you researched, but kind of the same,
Well, that's
but a
what
little
I'm saying.
bit
They
different.
all,
Yep.
depending on who you talk to, they all.
So what he
little
said
different.
was,
But they had a similar.
yep,
They had a similar thing. Similar
The
plot.
story,
Yep.
yeah, the plot is
Yeah.
similar, but
Everybody's
it's-
experience was a little different.
yep. So he said that, a guy's kids never came home from school or whatever, in like the 1930s or whatever year it was a long time ago. They had a blizzard in South Carolina where they had a lot of snow, And basically the guy was hunting for his kids, and he was on the railroad tracks or got trapped on the railroad tracks or whatever, and he was
Where
holding
you
his
little
lantern.
bastards at?
He was
Getting a
holding
whooping.
he was holding his lantern, and he ended up getting run over by the train, and that's the story. So whether or not it is really haunted, I can't say, but I have been there, and I think I've been there with you before.
I think.
Yeah, and but I have seen something, and I
I
know
have
that
too.
it's something.
I have too.
I think everybody sees it.
Yeah. Everybody,
you're
but
going
Chris.
out there and you're
It's like a bluish green light
yeah,
that
and
swings.
you're like
Yeah.
you're like I
And
see,
you've seen
I
this
see
light.
something.
Yeah.
I see that.
We've
there,
all
you know.
seen it.
We've all seen it, and
Yeah.
I was at a different time than they were.
Everyone but
don't,
you.
I mean, it's, and I think it could be it's something out there. I mean, it's you're wanting to see something because
Right.
you've heard the story. So
That's-
your mind has a way of
Well,
Keep,
playing.
somebody
keep in
told
mind,
me-
keep in mind what you just said.
Yep.
Because when I tell my story, what you just said is almost exactly what happened to me. You want to see something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so,
let's
so
go.
moving along,
Moving along
we're
to Trey.
moving to Trey's story now. He is the guest for
I
tonight.
can't stop laughing.
Well, since Chris's story was so long, mine's going to be really short now. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet.
Shit, no.
So there I was.
All right, go
That's
ahead.
No, okay. So I think I forget what year it was. 2012, maybe. Went up. My wife and kids and my father-in-law and his girlfriend went up to Antietam, the famous battlefield in the Civil War. The Bloody Lane. Everybody's heard of the Bloody Lane. More than 5,000. Well,
Everybody but Chris.
everybody that can read has heard about this one. Anyway,
he's joking.
the Bloody Lane, where the whole area, more than 5,000 people died. 5,000 Americans died in this one battle in one day. So the place that we're staying at was actually a flag house back during the Civil War, and it was a Confederate flag house where Confederates would go up to the attic, out the window or whatever, and they would wave a flag, kind of like a Morse code type thing. I don't think they had Morse
Like
code
the British is coming?
yeah, but they would get directions from one place. They would signal those directions, and that would go on down so they could get directions down to the field. Didn't have cell phones and radios and that kind of stuff back then. Anyway, so we're staying in this house. The story was that something had happened in this house. So I'm not even getting to the actual good part yet, but I got to tell you all this other stuff behind it. The house that we're staying at was a flag house. Some people had died in that house. Outside the kitchen, which wasn't a kitchen at the time, but this room that is now a kitchen, a shell had exploded while one guy was outside, one guy was inside. The guy that was outside, obliterated. The guy that was inside, shrapnel all over him, bleeding out. They took him into the living room in front of the fireplace, laid him down on the floor to work on him, whatever. Pull the carpet up, the rug up, and there's a giant blood stain from 1865.
Really?
Yeah, I have pictures of that too. So big body shaped blood stain. So anyway, the Bloody Lane. So one morning, like Scott was saying, I wanted to see something because we're staying in this house where we knew a guy died, and I'm thinking I'm gonna see something. I'm kind of spooked. I'm like, I don't know, man. This is kind of weird, Nothing happens in the house, and we go on this guided tour around the Antietam battlefield. We go through the Bloody Lane, and he tells the whole story about this area. The Sunken Road is what it was called then. It was Bloody Lane. But the next morning, I was like, I'm gonna go down there by myself. So I do. I drive down, and I get out, and I walk down the Bloody Lane by myself, and it's foggy. It's misty. I'm completely alone.
And what time was this?
What time? It was like early in the morning.
I mean, like 7, 6, or
I don't know what
It
time it
wasn't in
was.
1780.
I mean,
It was early in the morning.
It wasn't
light out, or
1780,
was-
Scott.
When I'm saying, was it still dark
1866.
out, or was it already?
No, it was okay. The sun was coming up, but
Okay, well,
but because there was a fog over everything, so you didn't see the sun, but it was
Yeah.
bright enough I could see everything. But like I said, it was misty. It was, if you took a picture, which I have a bunch of pictures of it, it looks spooky.
I'm sorry. Is this the bridge you don't cross?
Yes.
Am I ahead of myself?
Yes,
My
I
bad.
said I was
Go ahead.
getting to it.
Go ahead. My bad.
Tell him to shut up.
See,
Trey.
first I was talking about a
Correct.
house, and
Yeah.
now I'm on the outside. So I'm making my way.
I'm already crossing the bridge, but
I'm
go
making
ahead.
my way
I know,
downtown.
Chris, this is Trey's story. Let's let him tell it.
Listen, this is my show. You let me do what I want. So there, anyway, so I go out, and like Scott said, I want to see something. That's why I'm there by myself. And not that I'm like being disrespectful or anything. I've heard stories, and I want to experience that. That's a big deal. Like, I want to experience some kind of Civil War type of paranormal activity. So I go down the Bloody Lane where all these people, where this big battle happened on both sides of this road. I'm walking down this road by myself, and I see movement out the corner of my eye, and my heart literally stops. But I turn around and look, and it's a damn groundhog in the grass. So I get my breath back. I come back to life, and I walk on down, and I spend all this time down there, and the park area hasn't opened yet, so nobody's there. It's literally just me all by myself. And I walk all the way up the sunken road and all the way back, get back in the car, and go back to the house. Nothing happens. And so I'm a little disappointed, but at the same time, like I said, not trying to be disrespectful, but I was like, all right, that's cool. I was fine.
You were there, saw
fine.
everything.
I was fine. Well, I don't remember if it was later that day or the next day, but we went to a place called Burnside Bridge. And you have sideburns? They're named after this guy, Burnside, General Burnside, who had these giant sideburns.
He had the big pork chop mullets, didn't he?
Big,
they
yeah,
were the
yeah.
ones that...
Yeah,
The mullet chops.
but his General Burnside had these giant things, kind of like a lead singer for Blackberry Smoke. So we're down there, and on the Burnside Bridge goes over the river. I think it's the Antietam River, but it goes over the river, and you've got the Confederates on one side, the Unions on the other side. On the Confederate side, there's a big hill where when the Confederates were coming down, they're like shooting ducks in a barrel. They're right, anybody's on this side, these guys are coming down. I don't know if that's actually how it happened or not, but that's where the Confederates had to come down. That was the only way they could get to the bridge. The Union Army had the road that goes to the bridge, because once it crosses the bridge, it turns and goes straight along this hill. So Union's on one side, Confederates on the other. And we go down, they've got all these plaques, and there's lots of monuments and that sort of thing. And it's misty while we're there. Like I said, it was foggy, so it might have been the same day, but it was misty. Not raining, but just, we're all spread out. My father-in-law's girlfriend is on one side. She's taking pictures of everything, and I'm taking pictures. I'm taking pictures with an old cheap camera that I had back then, and of like some flowers and shit, and like trying to get a picture of the bridge with the river. And a bunch of my pictures were just weird looking, like a purple kind of haze over them. Like they just didn't look right. No big deal. It's electronics. That shit happens. I'm not a big believer in all that kind of weird stuff that happens. Well, I crossed I'm over on the Confederate side there, and I crossed the bridge, and I go over to what was the Union side, and I'm getting excited talking about it because what happens is so weird.
Yeah.
I get over to the Union side, and I'm not even thinking about like ghosts and all that kind of stuff. It's just I'm looking at it from a historical point of view because I'm a big nerd when it comes to that shit. And I'm like, this is so cool. This happened here. And they got this plaque that tells me what happened here. There's this tree that's here now that was here then, all that stuff. So I go down the road where the Union soldiers had come down, and they've got all these monuments where somebody had fallen. And so they put a monument up for that person. I'm walking down the road, and I'm by myself. Everybody's spread out. And I'm walking down the road, and all of a sudden I stop. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything. What it was like, imagine if you're going somewhere you're not supposed to go, and somebody jumps in front of you and yells at you, like tells you no, tells you stop, tells you get out of here. Like, it's not what you see or feel or hear. It's what you feel. The way you feel if somebody jumps in your face and yells at you and tells you can't do that. That's what I felt.
Ooh.
I stopped. And I was like,
I feel it in my plumes.
I stopped and I said, I don't need to go any further.
You really felt like that.
And I turned around and started walking away, but I didn't think about it anyway until I turned around and started walking away. And I was like, what the hell was that?
I'm walking away because somebody told me to.
And so I stopped and I turned back around. I didn't walk in, but I turned back around to look to see if like there was something that just like spiked my brain and said, stop. There was nothing. I didn't hear anything, didn't see anything. It was just a feeling that I got, like somebody had just totally cut me down.
Yeah, confronted you and said, no further.
I just got like spooked for a second, like, I'm sorry. And I turned around and started walking away. Now, that was all. That I didn't, like I said, none of us saw anything. We weren't looking for anything, but that moment happened to me. I turned around and I go back, and I didn't even tell anybody really about it. Because by the time I got back, everybody had their own little stories, like, look at these flowers, and look what this plaque says, that kind of shit. But then I was like, we got back in the car, and I think I said something then. I was like, that was just really weird. Like, I just felt like I shouldn't go any further. Well, we get back to the house, and we're all looking at our pictures, and my father-in-law's girlfriend has her camera with the big LCD screen on the back, which was big 10 years ago.
Yep.
Now it's everywhere. But she was big into orbs. You know what I mean? Like, if you take a picture of the graveyard and you see all these orbs flying around.
I shoot orbs at you all the time.
So she's talking about these orbs, and I'm completely against the whole orb theory because I'm a photographer and I know how some things work. If you hit a flash anywhere, you're going to see orbs because there's particles of dust. And especially that morning, there was moisture.
Yep.
There was mist. And so she's talking, oh, look at these orbs, look at these. And I'm going, yeah, okay. You know, hey, look at this one right over your head. I'm like, yeah, well, actually it's really big, so it's closer to you than it is me, and I'm on the other side of the river. So now comes in the PowerPoint presentation. It's not a PowerPoint. It's a photograph. So
guys, look at this crap right
So
here.
my father-in-law, and I guess I can send these to you. Maybe you can put them over and superimpose them over the video. So my father-in-law's girlfriend has this tiny little camera, and she says, but look at this picture. So this is Burnside Bridge. There's me right there. I got this cool little hat on.
It's probably
A little bowler cap type thing.
Union hat.
So she's like, look at this one right over your head. And I said, no, that's a raindrop closer to you than it is to me. But so I'm over there, and I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm actually looking at my camera trying to figure out why it's not taking pictures. Because the pictures of these bushes right here, you see there's like purple flowers?
Yeah.
That's what I was taking pictures of, with the flowers, with the bridge on the other side. I'm looking at my camera right now. She's got a picture of me looking at my camera going, what the hell's wrong with the camera? So she shows me this, and there's a couple other little small ones and stuff. And then I go over and I'm like, what is that one? Because this one's not in any other pictures, this raindrop. And we all looked at it, we're like, that looks weird.
Yeah, it don't look like a raindrop.
So I tried to zoom in, so this iPad's a lot bigger than that tiny little screen was, but I'm trying to zoom in, I can't really see anything. I'm like, yeah, it's just a raindrop. Now, this is the hill I was telling you about, where they come down. You go across the bridge, and the road cuts this way. So the Confederate soldiers would come down this hill. So I took the picture. There's a couple little orbs. There's some down in the water. Ooh, ghost in the water. So I took that picture, and I zoomed in.
Look at this, guys. What the hell does that look like to you?
That looks like a ghost.
Yeah.
It kind
That
of
looks like,
Show that to the camera.
It kind of looks like.
Trey.
I got a better one I'm gonna show to the camera.
Okay.
yeah, because the better one will elaborate.
So
on
it's
everything.
starting to look like.
So your imagination starts kicking.
Yes.
Starting to look like a figure now.
That's the one that told you don't cross that damn bridge.
No, he was on the other side. So
He was pushing you.
So your mind can look at this and put pictures together. You can make a picture out of this picture. You can come
I
up
see
with
that
ideas.
shit. I'm out of there right now.
But if you
Bye.
really look at it, like it almost like if you
Look
say
at this.
it looks like a Confederate soldier with a knapsack on his shoulders, maybe even a rifle in his hand.
I see a rib bone.
and a little cappy thing on his head.
Yeah.
That's what, and I see a skeleton. I mean, I see a
Got my
skull.
Like ribs.
bone.
Yeah.
So I took that picture, and so this is not edited. But what I did do is increase the contrast and that sort of thing, and make it a little bigger. But I didn't outline anything. But this is what I came up with.
Look at that shit right there. That's real. That's the dude. That's the dude told Trey, kiss my ass off my bridge. Get the hell out of
this
here.
is on the other
You
side.
shall not pass.
Yeah, he's on the other side.
Look
Still,
at that shit. Look at that, dude. Ain't
that's
that
crazy.
It's
Look at it. Oh my God! I've been. Well, he didn't see it at the time.
No,
Well, yeah,
he
didn't
didn't.
see it.
He didn't see. Yeah, show that to the camera.
Look at this crap right here. It's Marty Robbins. But that is crazy, man.
That
When he
is.
showed me
So,
that,
Were you still there when you started looking at these photos? I mean, as far as being
Yeah,
back
we
at
were-
the
we were in the
so-
house.
Yeah, yeah.
So
no.
what did you do
go?
when
Did you
you-
go back out to that area?
No, not that day. No, or not that trip. No.
You wouldn't have I got to get back out.
We already had so much other stuff planned for,
you
this
can
trip.
see it, right? I mean,
Yeah, you can.
But
you
even
can see
compare
it
the size to that with me,
Yeah.
and the raindrop is several yards behind me, but it's still kind of the same size, which puts
That
him.
is crazy, man.
Yeah, that is.
That is crazy. Did you want to when you saw it, when you cleared up?
It kind of
Did you want?
out.
Well, did you want to say, "I want to go back out there"?
I would have wanted to go back
You
out
wanted to
there.
go back out there.
Absolutely, yes.
I'd have wanted to go back out there and take
Something's
more
wrong with
pictures.
your ass because I'd have been packing my shit right now.
No, I want to experience that stuff. That's like
I don't
like bears.
I'm not even gonna get started on the
Hey,
bears.
come to think of it, that looks like it might be the cocaine bear.
could be.
But that's crazy, guys. Look at that. It looks like a real man with a gun, like a soldier.
It
You know?
does. I mean,
That's crazy.
I try to be a skeptic with all of it, with that kind of stuff. I look and I go, well, it could be two raindrops splashing together, but they're coming down. It's kind of hard. But then, like I said, when I zoom into it
Oh yeah.
and increase the contrast,
Look at
Right
that.
there.
That is a soldier. That's a soldier. That is a damn soldier.
it's definitely strange. I mean,
That's crazy.
it's a little weird.
yeah, it is.
Well, like you said, you
How
crossed
come
the
I had
bridge and you felt that presence.
Well, but this is on the opposite side. This is not the side of the bridge where I.
Well, he might have been behind you, and that presence on the other side, like,
How come I've never heard this story before?
I don't talk about it a whole lot.
suck.
You're not important.
Nobody likes you. You're covering manure up. Cause us to be late on our podcast a day early. You shut up and hey, do what it's told.
day-
Push the lotion on its skin.
Or it gets the hose again.
Or it gets the hose again. Damn.
So how long ago was this, Trey?
I think it was. Well, my son is 19, and I think he was like 5. Oh no, my daughter was born, so it was. It might have been 2012, 13.
Yeah. That's now is that the only possible paranormal picture you've ever taken?
Well, no. but like I said,
now, see, you not open another
But now-
book of worms.
It was just a question.
but like I said,
I'm interested.
But like I said, I'm a skeptic, so I try to look for the scientific type of, excuse for what that
What
could
it
be.
could be, yeah.
Because I want to believe it. Like I want to look at that and go, "Holy shit, there was a ghost behind me."
Yeah.
But then I also want to go, I don't want to be too
You don't want to
believing
be,
and
one of those people.
See, I'm one of those guys
Yeah.
that goes with my first thoughts. There's a ghost behind
well,
me.
it's just like walking through the woods by yourself and you hear something.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
You won't never catch me doing that.
Well, but I'm a little different. I don't think
Yep,
about.
that's why I would never go camping with you.
I don't think about ghosts. I'm like, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
Trey be like, "Whoa, look at this alligator. I'm going to poke him with a stick. That should really piss him off. I'm going to grab him by his neck."
I tried to do that with a little gator over
See?
in down Charleston. He didn't-
Never going camping.
I wanted to be his friend though.
That was a very interesting story.
I told him I wasn't going to hurt him.
I told
was.
you he had
And
details.
he
of
actually
this.
Yeah, that was
That's why I saved him
had
for last.
pictures also.
yeah. PowerPoint presentation
I came with
fucking paid off, man.
a little show and tell.
Well, this was a great show, guys. We had some fun.
What are we going to do when the cameras go off? This is going to be awesome. We're going to have more drinks.
Yes, we're going to have more libations.
Everyone but Chris.
Because I'm just now getting fired
We
up.
got-
I'm ready to go now.
We're going to have
That's everyone
one
but
camera
Chris.
going.
You want to let the cameras roll?
We're going to have one camera going for extra innings. What's
Touch and tell.
no? Ew, you nasty perv.
No,
Yeah.
I ain't talking about no touch and
We're
tell
gonna
right
edit
now.
that shit out.
I have to leave.
You have to leave.
Well, guys, we thank our sponsors. Thank everybody for listening. Thank you, Trey Davis,
Yes,
for coming on
Trey.
tonight.
Thank you for
You are
coming
so
on.
welcome. I'm
This
so
is-
glad you guys got to see me tonight.
I'm
We
glad I
are
got to
too.
see you too. I'm glad you bought the buttery nipples.
Yes.
They were fantastic.
They were great.
I've got some Crown if you want some later.
Crown.
Crown and Adidas.
Royale.
I'm so excited for what Crown and Adidas have done for me since I've been 13 years old. It's amazing.
13.
Well, this is cut 7 in the books. Cut 7, right?
Cut
That is
7.
correct. It is
right.
Cut 7 in the books. Trey Davis, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Trey.
Check us out on our Facebook page, Guillotines and Guitars. Check us out on our email.
He said guillotines.
Instagram,
Here
all
we
our
go.
social media.
He said it right that time,
He
didn't
did, but he still
I
said,
said guillotines.
he? Yeah, guillotines.
but he still said guitars.
Yeah, guitars.
Guitars.
It's like it's got 2 T's in it. Guitars.
You interrupt me. And,
I'm sorry, go
you
ahead.
interrupt my if and ands. But we got guillotines.guitars@gmail.com. Email us. We'd love to hear some feedback. We got some merchandise. We got the coins out. $15 a piece. We soon gonna
20.
have some $20. Excuse me.
Oh,
You keep saying 15.
Excuse me.
I was,
The
getting
coins
ready,
are 20.
I was getting ready to buy one, but not now.
Well, we can.
We got
probably
some
work
hats
something
coming out. Possibly, Carol.
Ball caps. Well, I mean, we
Waiting
got a
on
few,
you, brother.
We're
Waiting
not
on
waiting
you.
on me. We're waiting on the supplier.
Waiting on you. But thank everybody for listening. Thank our
Yes, thank you.
sponsors. Thank y'all so much. This is Cut 7. We are out.